Right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I do give all honor and all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikah HaKwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, this 1% truth. Salutations to the hopeful elect who are scattered in the four corners of the earth. Again, Shalom, my brother Kapash, coming to you once again with a brief lesson. Lord willing, it'll be edifying. We'll go right into it. You know, we are in some perilous times now, and that's what this lesson is going to be based on, these end times that we're living in. Because prophecies are happening, back to back. You see, you got all these false teachers out here, Israel. So beware, beware of the false teachers. They're talking a lot of untruths, you see. So if you're going to learn from anybody, learn from, the elders and apostles and bishops of Great Millstone, who will teach you the 1% truth, you see. All right. Let me go right into it. This is 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter, from the top, which reads, this know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. Let's go into that word perilous. Pretty sure it means dangerous times, but let me get it out of the blue letter. 2 Timothy 3 and 1. All right, let's get into that word. Let's see what the Bible says in the blue letter. That's days. Let's see. Hard to do, to take heed, to approach, hard to bear, troublesome, dangerous, harsh, fierce, savage times, in which we're living in these times now. Let me go back to this. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves. Yeah, we're seeing that now. We're seeing false prophets out here, heads of camps. We know who they are. Teaching lovers of themselves, want to, make large themselves, or to, another word is to magnify themselves, to make large, and to, heap men unto themselves. And it reads on, it says, let me go back to the scripture, let me read that again, verse, this is 2 Timothy 3 and 2. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, money lovers, right? Boasters, proud, bragging on how many men, how large their camps are, blasphemer, blaspheming the true name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You see, calling him Christ blessed. You see, won't call on the true name. You see, disobedient to parents, our spiritual parents, the elders and apostles whom we learn this truth by. They're our spiritual parents. You see, all right. Unthankful that the Most High have brought you into the truth, has made known to you that you're an Israelite, but yet you're going to use it for your advantage, to get money or to get praise and to build up yourselves. You see, because you're a lover of your own self, as it said in the first. Let me see. Yeah, in the first of this verse. All right. It says, and unthankful and unholy. Not being holy, not being separated from worldly materials and things of that nature, that pride of life, the lust of the eyes and the earthly lust of things. You see, that's where you see these that's where you see these false prophets and these false teachers dwelling in that mindset. You see. All right, and it reads on. It says verse 3 reads, without natural affection. We see that, Gorilla Hebrew, peanut butter chasers and doing some freaky stuff, so truce breakers. You see, what is that? Truce breakers. Let's go into that. Without, let's see, irreconcilable. Not having the spirit of reconciling with your brethren, with your brothers, and to speak the truth. You see, all right, false accusers, slanderers. You see, how many times have GMS been slandered, over the years? You see, mockers and scoffers all on the comment board. Telling lies, talking about, about the great thing, you see, and all that kind of stuff. You could be with 6-year-old girls and things of that nature. You could grape them and all that kind of nonsense. Slandering the true men, you see, the true prophets, despising the truth, you see. All right, it says, without natural affection, truce breakers, irreconcilable, false accusers, incontinent, you see. Without self-control. They don't have no control of their emotion. They in this thing all emotional. You can't wear your emotions on your sleeve. You got to man up, Israel. It says to, roughly paraphrasing, of course, put off the weak nature. You see, let go of the mortal thoughts. You see, it reads here, and fierce, just brutal. Vicious. Got a lot of vicious false prophets out here. False teachers, you see. Despisers of those that are good. The great men of GMS, starting with the head apostles and, the bishops, and right on down to the local camps and the affiliates. Telling you the 1% truth. That's true love, Israel. You see, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indian, that is what true love is. We tell you the 100% truth of the way of salvation, of course. And breaking down these scriptures, you see. All right, it reads on. It says in the 4th verse, it says traitors, heady, you see. All right, it says traitors, which are brutal, heady, which brutal as well, high-minded, lovers of pleasures, more than lovers of the Most High power. You love the things of this world. You love fulfilling your own lust and your desires. You love looking good in front of the camera. You want to look good in other men's eyes to get the praise. You see, lovers of pleasures. However the pleasures are. Whether it's hanging out in the nightclubs, or whether it's not natural affection or inordinate affection type lust and things of that nature. No, we don't do that. These are the things that the Lord hates. That is an abomination to the Lord, Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You see, right? And it reads on. It says, 5 reads, having a form of godliness, but having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. Let me get this precept. That's what we turn away from these people, especially those church pastors. All right, that claim to have be godly, but yet they are wolves in sheep clothing. Let me read this. I might have to get it because this page is torn out of my Bible. Let me see. Let me get it in my phone. This page is really jacked up. Let's get that. Let's get this. It's in Titus. My precept is in Titus, the first chapter. the 16th verse. Let's get it. The 16th verse. They profess that they know the Most High power, but in works they deny him. You see? They profess to know Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you know, and you have these other groups out here too, professing to know the Most High, but they don't call his name. They say they don't know his name. How you going to know him if you don't know his name? You don't know Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They profess to know the true power, but they're calling on Christ blessed, Yeshua, Yahuwah, you know, Jesus Christ, Allah, Buddha, Santa Maria, you know. You don't know Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You see, it says here, they profess that they know the Most High power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate. You see, they come against all the good works, you know, that, you know, of course, you know, we know our works are as filthy rags in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's eyesight, but nonetheless, we keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and we, to the best of our ability, and we do these works, you know, because it's showing our love for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You see, so but nonetheless, because if you love the Lord, you're going to have to show some action. You're going to have to do some works. You see, you're going to have to be out here on the highways and the hedges. You're going to have to make movies, you know, videos every day. Not movies, videos every day. We're not in theatrics. You know, we're not in, we're not trying to be Hollywood, you know, nothing like that. But anyway, you see, let me go back to here. It's this is Titus 1:16, which reads, they profess that they know the Most High, but in works they deny him. Their works is not adding up to what their professions are, but their profession is. They profess, they claim they know him, they announce that they know him, but their works are not adding up. You see, you know, you have these so-called Christian pastors doing the same thing. They've been doing it for years, teaching that slave Bible, and then you know, fleecing the flock, so to speak. All they care about, they are hirelings. All they want is your tithes. They want a church fund. They want to have a new ride. They want to have a new home. They want you to buy them suits. They want to go on and on. Then the pastor, sometimes he want to pop your wife. You know, man, I done seen all this kind of. I done seen it all, really. Anyway, they profess that they know the Most High, but in works they deny him. They don't go, you know, they don't know the Bible. They avoid the Bible. They teach it, you know, they read a scripture and they try to preach a whole sermon on it for an hour and a half or so. Man, come on. And yet they still continue not keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. You know, saying the laws that's been done away with. What kind of ridiculous mess is that? You see? It says, they profess that they know the Most High, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work a reprobate. And they are reprobates. You know, you have them today. We see them, we hear them talking, you could do it in the butt. You know, the laws are done away with. The Lord can save everybody. You know, he loves everybody. You know, all that kind of nonsense. We've seen that. We done heard it. You see? And there's lessons that have been to correct that nonsense. You see? All right, let's moving on. We're gonna go. I'm almost done. All right, and the 6th verse says, let me read that first verse. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. We don't need to have anything to do with it. Can two walk together except they be agreed? No. And it says to, you know, don't be unequally yoked. Stay away from those type of people. You can't be hanging out with those kind of people and be friend to those kind of people, going to their homes and, you know, and hanging out with them. No. If you are teaching this 100% truth, you know you're an Israelite, and you keeping the law, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability, you'll stay away from that kind of nonsense. Salakia. Reading on, it says here, verse 6 reads, "For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sin, led away with divers lusts." For of this sort, these kind of people that profess that, that they know Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and having a form of godliness, you see, that's the sort of people which creep. They the sort of people that creep into your home. You remember how the pastor like to lay hands on you and then want to lay hands on your wife, or go to Sister Mary's house to pray for Sister Mary, and then end up she telling all her business, to her so-called counselor as a pastor, and then end up popping up. You see, that's it. So for of this sort are they which creep into houses, or even convince the wife to go get all the money out of the bank account and give it to him for and he, of course, he gonna be laying hands and praying on it and popping it at the same time. And then when the man comes, he don't have any money. They don't have any savings because the woman done gave it all to the priest. You see, done been tricked, done been duped, done been hoodwinked, so to speak. All right, it says here, "For of this sort are they which creep into the houses and lead captive silly women laden with sin, led away with divers lusts." See, you can't, a woman is a weaker vessel. She don't need to be on the scene. She don't need to be heard. Her job is in the home and to serve her man, her husband. You see, that's her job. You see, if she's doing any extra, she's doing too much. She don't need to be running her mouth, telling you, disrespecting you. No, a woman's place is under the covering of her husband. You see? All right, now let's go here to let me get this precept, Titus 1:11. Let me get that. All right, and it says here, let me read 6 again. "For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sin, led away with divers lusts." And it reads here, and it says in Titus 1:11, it says, "Whose mouth must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake." That's money, you see? And that's what these wicked ass pastors, these church pastors, they do. And you got these other groups out here. You ain't seen them doing it for money and mesmerizing these silly women, convincing them that, I hear from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, I hear from God, so to speak, not even calling on the name of Yeshua. You see, heaping people up to themselves. It's particularly silly women. All right, so this is what we got to be aware of, Israel. These things are happening. We are living in these perilous times now. So this is so we got to keep our focus on the 100% truth. Keep our focus on doing this ministry. Keep our focus on on these prophecies that are popping off. You see, and praying constantly, consistently to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and seek Him 10 times more. You see, pray that He don't make you a bug out. Pray that He doesn't leave you ashamed when He returns, and for His elect. You see, these are the things that we have to do, Israel. You see, and pray for your brethren too, because if your brethren is highly important, especially the men. Your brethren who are out here on the highways and the hedges, doing this 100% true with all sincerity. You see? All right. So, all right. With that, I hope you were edified. I'm going to end it right there. But before I end it, I must give all honor and all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Rikah HaKodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, whom I've learned this 100% truth. Salutations to the hopefully elect who are scattered in the four corners of the earth again. Shalom.